This is Kaypacha with the weekly Paleo report, and it is May 4th of 2016, and it's time for a little astrology lesson, everybody. Been a little while since I've been on the old Astroscope is the name of this program, and I just found out a new feature, I have to play around with it a little bit today, but let's really just kind of look at what's going on here. The big thing that I want to talk about is when we look at a chart, and I can flip over to the chart. It is geocentric, so the Earth is in the center. So what you do is to find out aspects. You draw a line straight between the Earth and Jupiter, and you go all the way out to the fixed stars, and then you draw a straight line from the Earth out to Neptune, all the way out to the fixed stars. And you will find that those 2 points in the stars are 180 degrees opposite. So that's why I talk about a Jupiter opposite Neptune. You see? Now what else is going on here today and all week, this is really very powerful, is we have, I'm going to go for this new moon, and this new moon is the Earth and the moon, okay, in alignment with the sun. I mean, I suppose I could like move it forward a little bit here. Let's just go forward a little bit. Come on. This is my new feature. Oh, let's not go that far. Right there, you see how the moon, Earth, moon, Mercury is not far away, in alignment with the sun. So this is all going on, and the interesting thing is that from here there is what we call a grand trine going on between, if you draw a straight line all the way out to these stars, you're going to find that it is in trine with the point of Jupiter, and then you draw another line out past Pluto, and it's going to be this huge grand triangle. So we have a Pluto trine Jupiter, trine Mercury, moon, sun going on this whole week. And so I want to talk about this because this is like Mercury, this is also Mercury retrograde, and this is Mars retrograde. And so let's just kind of zoom in a little bit more on that and see how we get this to go on. The Earth is passing by Mars, so if you draw a straight line out here into the stars, today, and then you come a little farther, right, as the Earth comes around, and you draw another line straight from the Earth through Mars out to the stars, it's going to be backwards. So it appears as if Mars is moving backwards these days. But what I really wanted to point out to you coming up here is May 22nd. Look at this, you guys. Yeah. I mean, it's almost a full moon going on here, okay? I mean, the full moon is on May 21st, and it's a moon-Mars conjunct in opposition to the Sun, Venus. You see how we're coming up here a little bit now to a Mars-Venus opposition. Dun, 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 dun. There's that Mars opposition. It's actually exact on May 24th. Venus, Sun, up against Earth, Mars. Men, the masculine over here, the Sun is the mediator in between, and we've got the feminine over here in this corner. Oh my God! So yeah, yeah, it's going on. It's going on, big time going on. So let me look at the camera a little bit. Well, I wanted to point out some of that in the chart, but I think that this is enough for now. I want to talk about this grand trine. I want to talk about Mars retrograde. Also Mercury retrograde. I'm sorry. Let's look at that Mercury retrograde. Let's go back a little bit, okay, because what's going on right now, here's May 9th. Drawing these lines, we have this Mercury retrograde. So we pull this forward, and Mercury is going to stay retrograde for another couple weeks. Yeah. And so I want to talk about that Mercury retrograde. So Mercury and Mars both retrograde. Okay, Saturn retrograde over here, because whenever the Earth is passing by one of these planets, they're going retrograde. Yeah? If you didn't get that, you got it now. So let me turn this thing off, look at the camera, and talk to you soon. Hola. Okay. What can I say? I'm irritable today. The moon is in Aries right now, which is the frickin' warrior. Okay. It doesn't go into Taurus, ruled by Aphrodite and Venus, okay, until tomorrow. We don't have that new moon until Friday. Okay, and then it goes into Gemini on Saturday, and she finally, moves into Cancer next Monday. But, just as I'm about to do the Pele report out here in my front yard, the neighbor turns on this music. Not to mention all the other stuff that's going on right now. This is just like not an easy time. Uranus is still conjunct Eris, like I said, for a couple of years, and now the moon's coming around to this Uranus, Eris, the goddess of discord and disharmony. And you got this Mars retrograde, which is like heating us all up on the inside, so we're all ready to explode. And then Mercury goes retrograde, so we're kind of like having, the difficult conversations like one after another. This is just like, oh God. Sometimes it's grueling. So anyway, I want to talk about the Sabian symbol for this new moon, which happens to be exactly conjunct my midheaven. Okay, so I know this Sabian symbol very well. It's why I'm here. The midheaven is why you are here, right? The ascendant is what your life is about. The descendant is where it leads. The IC is how to get there. And the midheaven is why. Why get there in the first freaking place? Anyway, so having relinquished the past, the seeker turns warrior, fighting the eternal great battle. Yeah, that's the Sabian symbol. No, the Sabian symbol is actually the eternal battle between swords and torches. And this symbolizes a period in the cyclic phase of evolution. Oh my God, the music is just like, they turned it off. Whoa. Nope, turned it back on again. The eternal battle. So anyway, it is the battle between, it's just like, Michael slaying the dragon. Okay, we've got the anthroposophist. Rudolf Steiner came up, with the statue of man, right? And he's got, Lucifer on one side and Ahriman down beneath. And it's like we are in this world between Lucifer and Ahriman, excarnating and incarnating, getting too far out there into spirit land and no man's land with no boundaries, or getting too far down and sucked into the material intellectual world and this physical senses and everything like that. It's Sagittarius. We got Saturn in Sag, Mars in Sag, half man, half horse. Okay, this is our conscious seeker. Okay, Sagittarius, having to do with Jupiter and seeking the truth and natural law, and then, but driven, actually riding, okay, the horse. And now we've got this new moon in the bull, Taurus, okay, which is, again, the horse and the bull. These are both signs of virility, okay, of, like true libido, sexual energy, and it's like really very powerful. So let's talk a little bit more about this sun moving through Taurus, Venus moving through Taurus, Mercury retrograding through Taurus. Taurus is about physical, it's an earth sign. It's about survival, and part of that survival is procreation, which is our sexual nature. It's also our talents, our capacities, what we can do to survive, how we can survive. So it is our, it's our sense of self-worth. It has to do with, okay, yes, I am abundant because I have this and I am this. I am self-sufficient. So Taurus is about gathering more and more. It can turn into hoarding. It can turn into greed. It can turn into hedonism. It can turn into, so like if we go to the extremes of Taurus, okay, it's like, I don't need anybody, I don't need anything, I am everything, I've got everything, I am luscious, delicious, blah, 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 the horn of plenty, blah, blah, I am Aphrodite, the most beautiful frickin' thing you are ever gonna see. Obviously, this is opposed by Scorpio, yeah? Other people that we can't control, power, other people's power, other people's influence, you know, governments and nature and corporations and things beyond our control that, guess what, we're not all self-sufficient. And this is where we come into this new paradigm. This new paradigm is in Lakesh, Alakin, yeah? I am another you. We're coming out of this patriarchal separation between the spirit and the body, okay, between the out there softy, woody, woo, and the down hard, you know, hardcore, you know, solid, you know, block of concrete. We're coming out of this like polarity, okay, but it comes into this recognition, so this eternal great battle between swords and torches, okay, we'd say torches is the light of spirit, and the light of spirit needs to kind of like come down and meet, okay, and the swords like need to come up, okay, and meet, and this is where the heart is. This is the fourth chakra. This is where we exist. So it's this need to be in our heart space, and it's also, we could look at it as being the past and the future. Whoa, ho, ho, yeah? The torches is the future. The spirit is the future. And what's down here and fixed and solid is the past. You know, you're not really changing the past so much. So we're also in the eternal now. This is where the battle takes place. It's in each and every moment. And in each and every moment, the seeker turned warrior, okay, needs to tap into the spirit guidance, okay, and feel through the heart into the heart of the other, because we are moving out of separation into unity consciousness. Like it or not, ready or not, it's like, you know what, it's time to like come out of, okay, and that Scorpio Taurus, you know, it coming into balance. Mars is going to be going, you know, back down into Scorpio. So now we're getting this taste of Taurus. So this can be a time when you want to withdraw. You don't want to get out of bed. You just want to sleep, or you want to just eat or drink or get massages, or just like, you know, it's all too hard. I want to escape. I want to just like, you know, chill out and, you know, withdraw, become a hermit. It's just like, it's too hard out there, you know, listening to the other person, feeling the other person's feelings, and, you know, and having these difficult conversations that have to do with what? Integrity, honesty, truth, what's gone down and what's coming down, so that we can build trust and we can build and establish deeper commitments and deeper relationships that unleash, you know, more primal power through more cooperation and trust and unity consciousness. So it's kind of an interesting thing. We're coming out of the patriarch, and the first thing I want to say to people is, you know, the patriarch, you know, and still, whether you call it the Illuminati or the big bankers elite or whatever you want to, you know, call it, the United States. You know, like, you know, trying to like control and dominate and just like, you know, use fear and use shame and guilt to like make everybody, you know, more mutable in their, you know, in their clutches. It's really necessary for us who are bringing in this new paradigm to recover our power and recover our truth and dig down inside ourselves and get our gold and become more empowered and more self-sufficient, so that we are not, right, pawns on the chessboard of someone else's game, but that we are now moving. And then the trick is not to get stuck there. and not to just go in and, oh yeah, I am so powerful, I'm so awesome, and I can have anything I want and take anything I want and taste anything I want and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, keep that wheel turning. We've got Jupiter in the North Node in Virgo. And the Jupiter North Node in Virgo says, no, guess what? You just got all that gold and you've got all that power so that you can give it. And you can serve with it, and you can share it, and you can empower others, and we can bring in a new world order, okay, where we are, okay, unity in diversity. So it is about, it's not going totally into Taurus, it's not going totally into Scorpio, it's not, alone, and it's not power or dominating or manipulating the other. It's not being the predator or the prey. It's like really coming into this place. And this is why I came up with this mantra today. Yeah? To determine when I'm selfish or simply honoring my needs. I look to the heart of the other to see the effects of my deeds. Yeah? If we're moving more and more into a new paradigm where we are one in Lakesh, I am another you, it's fine for each one of us, to get into that cozy, wozy, feeling good kind of a space and learn how to receive. This is Taurus, Aphrodite, Venus, the feminine, the receptive. Yes, this is wonderful. Mercury retrograde, all this stuff going on in Taurus. Learn how to receive. And some of you out there already know how to receive. Okay, and you've got abundance, and you've been receiving quite a freaking bit, okay? And this is where the grand trine, Mercury, Sun, Jupiter, Pluto, this is part of a greater cycle. And Taurus leads into Gemini, Gemini leads into Cancer. The circle keeps turning around and around. And so this Taurus is a time of building up our stash. But this grand trine says, let's be planning the future. Let's be seeing where are we going to put all these resources, all of our time, all of our power, all of our gold, all of our, everything that we have built up is not for me. And it's not for my stash. And it's not just so my castle is stronger. No, I actually got all of this just to move it on and pass it on. So Jupiter's the future. This Mercury trine Jupiter and Pluto, this is like super powerful. It's really looking at a new paradigm, a new world order. And how am I going to contribute? And how I'm going to contribute, and what I'm going to do, and with my deeds is I want to be sensitive, and I want to be feeling into the heart of my partner, into the heart of my intimate others, and not just be engrossed, yes, with my own self-interest. So this is that battle. This is that staying of the forces, staying in the heart, yeah? Not getting too much into myself and not escaping or, going into substance abuse or, addictive forms of behavior that just avoid and deny and, just like lift off and let me out of here. Escapist tendencies. So like not escaping and just, and not just like hoarding, but being in the space of I am here and I am gathering and I am giving and I am sharing and I am supporting. Taurus is the great builder. The great builder. So let us build a new paradigm where everyone's hearts are heard and felt and we care and we share our abundance as we learn more and more how to attract it. Yeah? So let's go for that one more time. I've got to remember this freaking thing. To determine whether I am selfish or simply honoring my needs, I look to the heart of the other to see the effects of my deeds. deeds. May the effects of your deeds sow seeds of love and light. Namaste. Aloha. So much love and music.